Have you ever imagined a place where women are the ones who get down on one knee to propose? Or a village where everyone is under 4 feet tall, and it's not a movie set, it's real life? Picture a town with just one resident, yet it still issues official entry visas. And how about a street so insanely steep that locals have to park their cars sideways just to stop them from sliding into the ocean? Sounds made up, right? But here's the twist, it's all completely real. What's even crazier? Living here costs nearly 40% less than in the United States. Welcome to New Zealand. A land so strange, so beautiful, and so unexpectedly quirky, it feels like stepping into a parallel universe. In today's journey, we'll uncover the 15 most bizarre and jaw-dropping facts about this island nation that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Get ready to laugh, gasp, and maybe even add this wild place to your travel bucket list. Because in New Zealand, the unbelievable is just everyday life. If you think beauty means makeup, designer clothes, or striking poses for Instagram, New Zealand women are about to flip that idea on its head. In this country, beauty isn't curated, it's lived. These women grow up in the embrace of wild nature, with mountains, oceans, and clean air shaping their souls. After a day hiking windswept trails or surfing glassy waves at dawn, messy hair isn't something to hide, it's a badge of freedom. From Wellington to Queenstown, you'll see women in hoodies and sweatpants, behind the wheel of rugged trucks, leading sunrise yoga by the beach, or sharing laughs around a fire with zero pretense. Makeup? Often none. Their curls are wild, their skin sun-kissed, and their confidence? It radiates from within. New Zealand women don't perform beauty, they embody it. And it's not just their vibe that stands out, they've been pioneers. In 1893, they became the first women in the world to win the right to vote. Today, they still lead globally in gender equality, freedom, and independence. Many run their own businesses, some from minimalist tiny homes perched in the hills, crafting a life that values joy over clutter. And here's something you won't find everywhere. In cities like Wellington, women often make the first move in dating. They're kind, curious, and open-minded, especially to visitors. You might be sipping coffee alone when someone greets you with a cheerful "day mate" and ends up swapping hiking stories with you like an old friend. And yes, if you're genuine, humble, and open to a simple, spirited life, they're absolutely open to international love. Want to know the secret to winning a Kiwi heart? Drop the number 8 exclamation mark in the comments, and I'll show you the true Kiwi way to connect. If you land in Wellington on a December morning, don't expect a calm breeze to welcome you, expect wind. Real wind. The kind that can lift your hat and send it sailing down the nearest hill. That's why locals call it Windy Welly, and with the highest average wind speed of any city in the world, it's earned the nickname honestly. But here's the strange part, no one minds. In fact, Wellingtonians embrace it. They sip coffee on windy sidewalks, read books in swaying parks, and walk with a peaceful rhythm, as if the wind is just another neighbor passing by. Every home you see has a curious little detail, a tiny shoe awning above the front door. It's not just decorative. Taking your shoes off before entering is an unspoken tradition. Ask why, and locals will smile and say, to keep the house clean and the mind light. On Cuba Street, Wellington's artistic soul, life unfolds like a living painting. Ukulele players strum on benches, street artists sketch portraits in real time, and vintage cafes nestle beside charming Edwardian buildings. And yes, there's a human-powered fountain, one that springs to life only when someone pedals a nearby bike. Even the traffic is different. People rarely honk, and if you sing a cheerful tune on a city bus, don't be surprised if the driver lets you ride for free. It's just Wellington's way of rewarding authenticity. At night, Courtney Place glows with cozy bars and the echo of jazz, indie rhythms, or soulful Maori folk music. You might find yourself sipping local wine while an elderly storyteller weaves Maori legends under city lights. Wellington doesn't shout with towering skyscrapers or sprawling highways. Instead, it whispers. It lets you hear the ocean, smell the wild manuka trees, and feel, if only for a while, that maybe the perfect city isn't the biggest. It's the one where your heart can breathe. In New Zealand, you don't always have to look up to see the stars. Sometimes, the galaxy glows right beneath your feet. Deep underground, hidden within ancient limestone over 30 million years old, lies one of the most otherworldly sights on Earth, the Waitomo glowworm caves. Inside, millions of tiny creatures called Arachnicampa luminosa, a glowworm species found nowhere else in the world, light up the cave ceilings like constellations in the night sky. But this isn't just a beautiful illusion, it's nature at its most fascinating. These glowworms spin delicate silk threads and emit light to lure in prey, turning survival into a shimmering spectacle. When you enter the cave, the modern world fades away. You board a small boat and drift silently through a pitch-black cavern. No flashlights. No voices. Just the gentle sound of water echoing off ancient walls and the breathtaking glow above you. It feels less like a cave and more like floating through the cosmos. Many filmmakers who've seen it say it's more mesmerizing than CGI, because no special effect can replicate this living magic. The Maori people discovered this hidden wonder centuries ago and consider it a place of deep spiritual meaning. Since 1889, Waitomo has welcomed travelers from around the world, offering a glimpse into one of Earth's most magical corners. Today, over 1 million visitors each year come to experience it, and almost every one of them leaves believing they've seen real-life starlight underground. Ever soaked in an outdoor jacuzzi in Colorado? Now, imagine a wilder, more primal version. No chrome jets or poolside cocktails, just steaming waters, volcanic earth, and the raw beauty of New Zealand all around you. Welcome to Rotorua, the beating heart of the country's hot spring culture. Here, bathing isn't just about relaxation, it's a spiritual reset. Locals believe that soaking in geothermal waters isn't just good for the body, it cleanses the soul, heals emotional weight, and prepares you for life's biggest chapters. At iconic places like Hell's Gate, you'll slather yourself in traditional Maori mineral mud before slipping into a cedar tub with a volcano in view. The scent of sulfur rises with the steam, and everything feels ancient, alive. Some spas even serve hangi, food cooked using nothing but the Earth's own geothermal steam, just as the Maori have done for centuries. And in Queenstown, the onsen hot pools offer something unforgettable. Picture this: snow-capped peaks, the Remarkables mountain range, and you, soaking in a wooden tub as the sky turns golden. It feels like a scene pulled straight from The Lord of the Rings, only more peaceful and deeply real. Couples from around the world travel here to propose, to reconnect, to celebrate anniversaries under the stars, floating in warmth, surrounded by silence. With prices ranging from just $30 to $60, you're not buying a luxury bath, you're buying a return ticket to nature, and maybe, to yourself. So here's the question: would you pick a 5-star hotel suite, or a wooden tub in the wild under the stars? Comment below and let us know what your heart chooses. Have you ever wished you could step straight into the magical world of Frodo Baggins? In New Zealand, that wish isn't just fantasy, it's an experience so real, so immersive, you might forget the 21st century ever existed. Welcome to Hobbiton, the legendary village from The Lord of the Rings, nestled in the rolling green hills of Matamata on the North Island. Built on a 1,200-acre working dairy farm, Hobbiton was originally handcrafted as a film set. But after its global success, it was lovingly preserved, and now lives on as a fully functioning village straight out of Middle-earth. Here, you can stroll past 44 hand-built hobbit holes, peek into gardens bursting with vegetables, and admire green round doors, tiny handcrafted furniture, smoking chimneys, and moss-covered wells. No plastic. No LEDs. Every single detail, stone, wood, and plant, is real. Authenticity is everything. The people of Matamata? They treat you like family. Even if it's your first time meeting them, they'll call you mate, hand you a cold beer, and help you with directions like it's second nature. Many work the land by day and guide you through Middle-earth by night, telling tales so vivid you'll start to wonder if Gandalf really did pass through here. Fans of cinema and seekers of timeless magic can grab a craft beer at the Green Dragon Inn, sit beneath the famous party tree where Bilbo made his farewell speech, or stand on the very paths where the Fellowship once walked. The Maori call this land the home of little dreams, because something about it brings out your imagination, your memories, your sense of wonder, even if you thought you'd lost it. Believe it or not, adults celebrate their birthdays here, Hobbit style. So tell me, are you ready to knock on Bilbo's door and sip a Hobbit beer? If you are, comment the number 5! If you're still unsure because fairy tales feel too far away, comment the number 6! Can you imagine dropping a tennis ball on a street and watching it roll down endlessly like it's in some bizarre physics experiment? Welcome to Baldwin Street in Dunedin, New Zealand, a street so steep, it once broke world records and then fought to win them back. With a jaw-dropping gradient of 38%, for every 9 feet you walk forward, you're climbing nearly 3 feet straight up. It's not just steep, it's surreal. In 2019, a street in Wales briefly snatched the Guinness World Record title, but after a recalculation and a public outcry, Baldwin Street proudly reclaimed its crown in 2020. The locals were so ecstatic, they celebrated with custom t-shirts, mugs, keychains, and yes, even pet collars, all proudly displaying their famous slope. Because of its absurd incline, cars can't be parked the usual way, residents have to angle them sideways, and even then, the handbrake becomes your best friend. Houses here appear crooked from the outside, but inside, everything is leveled out, an architectural illusion that never fails to surprise visitors. For the people of Dunedin, climbing this beast of a hill is just part of daily life. It's their gym, their challenge, their pride. Every year, crowds gather for a race to the summit, and the winners walk away with a special medal and bragging rights for life. In winter, the street occasionally transforms into a natural ski slope, turning a quiet neighborhood into a winter playground. And in one of the town's most legendary moments, locals tried baking the world's steepest cake right on Baldwin Street. It looked promising, until gravity pulled all the frosting downhill before anyone could even take a slice. Can you imagine greeting someone not with a handshake or a wave, but by gently pressing noses to share something called the breath of life? In New Zealand, that's not a fantasy, it's a sacred tradition. Among the Maori, the indigenous people of this stunning land, connection isn't just felt, it's breathed. The traditional greeting is called the hangi, and it's more than symbolic. It's a powerful moment of unity. When two people touch noses, they're not just saying hello, they're acknowledging each other's soul. In that breath, you're no longer a visitor. You are accepted. But the surprises don't end there. In Maori culture, love is equally fearless. Did you know women can propose? Yes, during special ceremonies, a woman might offer a handcrafted bracelet as a sign of her intent. No down-on-one-knee theatrics. Just mutual respect and choice. Imagine how different the world would be if love always started that way. Most Maori communities live in places like Rotorua, where wooden homes echo with generations of laughter, and steam rises from the earth as families cook using hangi, a traditional underground oven. Life here flows with nature. Birds are messengers, wind is a whisper from the ancestors, and hot springs aren't just for bathing, they're for healing the spirit. Before weddings, funerals, or major events, you'll witness the haka, a fierce dance that shakes the ground and awakens pride, heritage, and identity. It's not just a performance, it's a declaration. We are here. We remember. We respect. And maybe that's the most powerful thing about Maori culture. It reminds us that true strength lives in connection, and that even something as simple as a nose touch can hold the weight of 1,000 years. Some places feel too perfect to be real. But New Zealand doesn't just feel real, it feels magical. This isn't a country you just visit. It's a place that pulls you into the adventure. Ever tried heli fishing? Here, a helicopter lifts you into the untouched heights of the Southern Alps, dropping you into a silent world where no fishing line has ever touched the water. Down at Milford Sound, giant cliffs rise like ancient guardians, surrounding a black glass fjord where waterfalls tumble from impossible heights. The clouds drift low, painting the mountains like a living watercolor. Paddle through them, or soar above them in a chopper with your heart in your throat. At Lake Tekapo, the water glows turquoise, like a gemstone under the sun. And when night falls, the Milky Way burns across the sky so bright it silences everything. At Waiotapu, the champagne pool bubbles neon orange and blue like a portal to another world. Then there's Franz Josef Glacier, where you hike through frozen time, then warm your soul in nearby hot springs. In Abel Tasman, golden beaches whisper at your feet, dolphins dance in the surf, and you sleep beneath stars that feel close enough to touch. In New Zealand, the earth still feels wild. And if you let it, it just might change the way you see everything. In a land where the people proudly call themselves Kiwis, it's only fitting that their national symbol isn't some fierce predator or towering beast, but a small, flightless, nocturnal bird so shy, it practically disappears into the forest floor. Meet the kiwi, the heart and soul of New Zealand's identity. Unlike any bird on Earth, the kiwi has a long, curved beak with nostrils at the tip, making it the only bird in the world whose sense of smell is stronger than its sight. It sniffs out insects and worms underground like a tiny, feathered detective. Even more incredible? Kiwi eggs are enormous, about 25% of the mother's body weight. Imagine carrying a watermelon inside you if you weighed 100 pounds. That's the kiwi's level of commitment. And New Zealanders adore this bird with their whole hearts. All across the country, you'll spot road signs that read, "Kiwi Crossing," reminding drivers to slow down for this gentle, hidden creature. In the wild, kiwis are fiercely loyal. Once they find a mate, they stay together for life, quietly building nests, raising their young, and standing by each other through every season. To Kiwis, this bird isn't just wildlife, it's a symbol of authenticity, resilience, and quiet pride. If you want to meet one in person, head to protected sanctuaries in Rotorua or Zealandia, but move slowly and speak softly. Kiwis don't like the spotlight. Still think national treasures need wings and thunderous roars? If this humble bird has earned your respect, ever wondered what it's like to live in a place so far from the rest of the world? It's almost like its own hidden dimension. Tucked away in the remote southwestern Pacific, over 1,200 miles from Australia, lies a country so unique, it often feels like Earth's best-kept secret. This is New Zealand, the so-called distant cousin of the modern world. It's made up of two main islands, the North and South, and over 700 smaller ones, spreading across 104,000 square miles. That's slightly larger than Colorado, yet its population is astonishingly low. As of mid-2025, just over 5.2 million people call it home. That's less than a third of New York City's population. But here's the kicker. There are more than 29 million sheep roaming the countryside, making it the only place where sheep could easily outvote humans. New Zealand is a rich blend of cultures, from descendants of European settlers to the proud Maori people, whose language and traditions have seen a powerful resurgence after nearly vanishing. Add to that vibrant Pacific Islander and Asian communities, and you've got a nation that thrives on diversity. English and Maori are the official languages, with Maori proudly woven back into schools, songs, and street signs. But perhaps what truly sets New Zealand apart is its mind-blowing natural landscape. Snow-capped peaks, glowing glacial lakes, lush rainforests, and beaches that look like postcards, all packed into one country. Its climate is mild and beautifully balanced, with 4 distinct seasons. And yes, winter here runs from June to August, flipping the script on what the Northern Hemisphere is used to. But the real magic? You can shred fresh mountain snow in the morning and ride a wave by afternoon. In New Zealand, you don't have to pick between the mountains and the sea. This country offers both in a single day. Tucked away in the rolling hills of New Zealand's North Island lies a town so quirky, so defiant, it once declared independence from the rest of the country. Welcome to Whangamomana, a tiny village in the Stratford district with just 30 to 40 residents. But don't let its size fool you. This place has its own passports, national holiday, and even a president. And no, we're not talking about a mayor, we mean an actual president of the Republic of Whangamomana. The government building? A 100-year-old Victorian pub, where you can grab a cold beer and apply for your Republic passport for just a few bucks, fully recognized within the town's borders. Not far from there, you'll find what's possibly the world's smallest gas station. Just one lonely pump, no roof, no staff. You fill up, you pay, and you go. Here, everything runs on trust. People don't lock their doors during the day. The homes are handcrafted from timber with dark metal roofs, some with backyards that double as goat pens or makeshift garages. Many still showcase century-old architecture, wooden porches, vintage paneling, and trellises thick with climbing vines. There are no cops, no cameras, not even traffic lights. Yet this town has stayed peaceful for over 100 years. Everyone knows each other, and almost everyone has a nickname. There's Dave, who whispers to the goats, and Nina, the flag-raising queen. But perhaps the strangest tradition of all? Every 2 years, Wangamomina holds a presidential election. And yes, humans, dogs, and even goats can run for office. Because in this tiny republic, the rules are simple: be kind, be weird, and never take life too seriously. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into Maori culture, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories from around the world.